Okay, this is the second PROTO 2000 PA1. As you can see, it's number 5754A. I've taken it down, and I'm going to take it down even further. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trucks off and solder these wires like here right down to the frame instead of using the little rubber tabs like your plastic tabs like you see here. And I'll solder these as well. Then I'll probably use an 8-point like I did on the last one. So the last one was such a hassle trying to get a speaker in it, and I really wanted to get a deep bass speaker in it. I was able to get a good speaker in it, but I decided this time I'm going to go ahead and do this right. And so as you can see, I think I have machined this down, this area right here on the front end. So this DHB 20-8 will fit in, and I modified it as well because it was square. And what I've done is I've machined and filed off the sides to get it down where I need it. And then I've got some RCZ 56 on the back of it to give it an insulation as it fits in. It'll actually fit flush in there. I'll leave it up a little bit. And then I've also got to put pieces of plastic on both sides to make this a total enclosure. So what I'll probably do is take one of these old credit cards or cash cards you get from like Shell and other places, and cut it out to fit over the speaker and make an enclosure so I get really good sound out of this. And I think when we get around to playing it, you'll be impressed. So I will paint the inside of this. I'll clean it up. As you can see, it left me an awful lot of metal filings. I got to clean all this up before I get anywhere near it with the locomotive. These are non-ferrous, but as you can see, it took a lot of machining, and a lot of it was on my lap, and I've already cleaned myself. So a lot of metal. And I use my Dremel, as you can see, with a cutter wheel. And I also use drill bits to start it and try and set some depth with it. And I think as you can see by the depth of this, of the cut, let's get where it's a little bit darker, it's it didn't leave much on the bottom, which is good because that metal will resonate quite nicely and improve the sound of the speaker. And the speaker needs an enclosure. You just don't get the quality without an enclosure. And it doesn't matter if you put it on the cone side or on the magnet side. It needs an enclosure on one side or the other to back the sound back through it, and it basically magnifies it and deepens it and makes it better. And I think you'll see that when we get around to operating this. So, I'm not going to show all the things I did on the other one because it's the same. I think this is a big improvement for the speaker. It took about an hour and a half, plus a trip down to Home Depot. And while I was there, I remembered where I put my cutter. Never fails, but I bought 2 more, so not to make the trip worthless. And great-grandson had a ball, too. So, we'll see this later. The truck's back on it. You can see, and I'm putting this in place now. It's still loose. So I got to put a couple screws in it. The speaker's in. It's pretty well flush, which is good. It'll fit quite easily and radiate all the way back. And of course, back in here, once this goes on, then above it is the fan screen, which will let the sound come out very nicely right around the motor area. Reattach this card, and then it'll be time to take this out, which allows it to run DC, and plug in the DCC decoder. So we'll get that in just a little bit. Okay, this is a PROTO 2000 PA locomotive. As you can see, it's 5754. And it has a LOKSOUND SELECT decoder in it. And I gotta tell you, I'm quite impressed. I've got a B I've already done and another A I've already done that'll be sold as a pair. But this one's gonna be sold all by itself. So let's just start it up. This will be a really short video. And I'll open it up so you can see the decoder inside of it just for a second. I've taken the front coupler off so I didn't have to open up the front end of this thing. It'll all be in the box. It's all new. Test ran it, then went through the, it's a fairly simple conversion actually. I took all the little clips off the wires and soldered them solid, and then plugged the 8-pin in off the LOKSOUND decoder. This was universal. I had it done by the hobby shop, and it really sounds good. So let's start it up. the bell just long enough to hear it so it doesn't interfere with the rest of the sounds. For the brake release, nice low speed. Moving forward, turn on his headlight. You hear the brake release again. And the brake squeal. So I really like the ESU decoders. I do. I've bought several of them. I like this sound over the Tsunami. I was able to listen to both of them before I purchased the ESUs, and it really, I do think, sounds better. Everything's subjective. If you're buying these things, and you might just be brand loyal too, so it's hard to tell. But let's put it back in reverse one more time, just for the heck of it. Like I say, I'm quite impressed with him. So like I said, it's going to be a short video. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can see the decoder in it. Then I'll probably put it back in the box in 2 pieces. I think it ships better that way because there's nothing on the shell that's connected to the decoder or anything else, so I think it'll travel better that way. So I'm going to put it back in this box, take some pictures of it, and then put it on eBay. And I hope you're a pin fan and interested in this thing, because I think it's a really nice unit. Like I say, the locomotive's brand new, and it's an ESU decoder, LOKSOUND Select, and I think it sounds good. But before I do that, let's listen to the shutdown. And just so you know, I'm not doing this with my MRC DC decoder or DCC decoder. I'm just using my Tech 6. So you can imagine what you can do using the wireless decoder as well in the Prodigy, or whatever major decoder major unit you use to control your DCC locomotives. So let's take it apart real quick. Okay, so there's the decoder. You can see the 8-point plug where it goes in. It's a very small decoder, and that's what I like about it, because with the Protos, I think everybody knows, they don't leave you a lot of space. I've painted the conductor and the engineer, excuse me, and I just did this to help the sound come out the back end. Some of these come with this open, and some don't, but you can unsnap the grill. And I used my Dremel to go ahead and open that up. So anyway, that's it. I'm kind of struggling with a cough right now, so I had to stop for a second. Very clean installation, really. Not much to it at all. And as you saw, it really works fine. So I hope you're a pin fan and interested. It's a really good looking locomotive. Like I said, it's brand new. It's just can't get any better than this. Tremendous sound and operation with the ESU decoder. So, like I said, I'm going to put it back in the box like it is originally. I think it will ship better that way and it's safer that way. With this unit put in, I may have to do a little cutting back here to make room for the decoder in the box. But other than that, I think I said this is a 20mm deep bass speaker. I had to do a little work to get that to fit in there, but it fit in pretty nicely. And it does have an enclosure behind it because there is an opening there. Like I say, Proto doesn't give you much, but it gave me just enough to put a really nice speaker in it. And as you saw, it really operates nicely. So, excuse me again, that's it. Like I say, it's a PA locomotive. New with a LOKSOUND decoder. And thanks for watching.